Good evening and welcome to Thai PBS English News Service. I'm Supachon Klinswan. The Bangkok Metropolitan Administration is planning to install another 10,000 closed-circuit TV cameras to boost the confidence of the capital's residents, while police have issued another arrest warrant for a man who police believe is one of the bomb makers. This Middle Eastern man seen in the screen is Nikafat Jawad, who police believe is one of the Iranians who took part in assembling the bombs, which went off on Valentine's Day. The latest man on the police arrest warrant has been seen going in and out of the house in Sukhumvit 71, which was later blown up on Valentine's Day. Further searching of that house led police to finding another key to another apartment, which police believe belonged to the woman accomplice to who is now back in Iran. No bombs nor explosive devices were found at the other address. Meanwhile, Lieutenant General Winai Thongsong, the Metropolitan Police Commander, says that he has ordered houses and condominiums rented by suspected foreigners to be closely watched. Police cannot yet conclude if the latest round of bombings, which left one of the bombers' legs amputated, is linked to Artris Hussein, a terrorist suspect arrested last month. None of the high-ranking commissioners of the National Security Commission have given details of the meetings today. 16 people have so far been investigated, while officials are still working closely with their counterparts in Malaysia to arrange the capture and return of Sidar Garset, another bombing suspect who fled to Malaysia after the bomb went off. Meanwhile, Mom Rajawong Sukhumpan Boripat, Bangkok governor, insists Bangkok and especially Bangkokians are not the terrorist target, but the BMA will by the end of this year install another 10,000 closed-circuit cameras across the capital to boost confidence. Despite prolonged efforts, the Iranian ambassador to Thailand cannot yet be reached for comment on this matter. FIFA is asking Bangkok if the capital city is confident about hosting the Footsal World Cup at the end of this year. Security was one of the concerns, but the Bangkok Metropolitan Administration says that it is confident that Bangkok is ready to be a good host city in every aspect. Ong-At Gorsinkha, Secretary of the Thai Football Association, just came back from a meeting with FIFA officials regarding Bangkok hosting the Futsal World Cup 2012 in November this year. Security checks and ticket distribution were among some of the main worries FIFA addressed with the Thai Football Association. However, Thai representatives assured FIFA that Bangkok is more than ready to host the Futsal World Cup 2012. Ong-At also submitted a letter from the Bangkok governor saying that the main stadium used in this competition, which is in Nong Chok district, will certainly be finished before October. The Financial Action Task Force on Money Laundering, or FATF, has announced that Thailand is now on the blacklist of money laundering countries. The chairman of the Federation of Thai Industries has asked the government to further explain before this affects international financial transactions. Thailand is among 5 countries that have been recently included on a blacklist related to money laundering, along with Pakistan, Tanzania, Indonesia, and Ghana, as now there are 17 countries on the blacklist. The Secretary General of the Financial Action Task Force on Money Laundering, or FATF, states that these 5 countries are on the blacklist because of failure to allow advice on anti-money laundering and combating the financing of terrorism. During the meeting of the FATF in France, Acting Secretary General of the Anti-Money Laundering Office, or AMLO, in Thailand explained the reason why Thailand had delayed or failed to follow the rules of the FATF, especially the law of anti-money laundering and combating the financing of terrorism. That is because it is the first year that Thailand has implemented the rules and regulations which, as a matter of law, must be approved by Parliament. Meanwhile, the chairman of the Federation of Thai Industries asked the government to explain the situation to the international authorities, especially the progress of anti-money laundering and combating the financing of terrorism laws that have been in draft form since 2007 but cannot yet be implemented. Being on the blacklist of anti-money laundering and combating the financing of terrorism will have an effect on international financial transactions and will cause delays and might lead to trade protectionism by G20 countries. Hundreds of tourists have been left stranded on Phuket Island today after their budget airline Air Australia ran out of money and immediately grounded its entire fleet. Roughly 4,000 passengers, mostly Australians, were stranded around the world from Hawaii to Bali to Phuket when Air Australia went into voluntary administration, which is similar to bankruptcy protection. The airline is no longer accepting new bookings as it can no longer pay its bills. Its entire 5-jet fleet is now grounded. Qantas and Jetstar are now offering services to stranded passengers to get to their destinations by selling tickets at the same price the travelers purchased from Air Australia, giving them a chance to recover the full price from their travel agencies or credit card companies. Around 300 jobs will be lost as the Brisbane-based airline goes bust. Investing in gold has become very popular as gold prices have been rising continuously. Dr. Rungtip Chodnapalai spoke to Dr. Sahauni Satipakiat from Sasin Graduate Institute of Business Administration, who found out that there are loopholes which can be caused in gold funds, so investors have to be more careful and not to put all their eggs into one basket.
The suggestion is that right now what Sasin have done is that we did some research and we show that the price that they used here is not a fair market price, and there's a loophole that people can go in and do some arbitrage to make a lot of money without taking risk. And then we proposed this find out to the SEC. And now SEC and AIMC, which is the like a management company, fund management company, a group of fund management company, they're working together to solve this problem. For the Thai investor, I would suggest that we should hold on. Don't worry, don't panic yet, because they are working on solving this problem. Right now, if you want to invest in gold, we can buy gold ETF instead, because you will know exactly how much price you will get at that time.
Aoyu, or literally translated as "we can handle it," is one of the most famous quotes from the Prime Minister when the floods gushed in. Today, as the last day of visiting provinces along the flood lines, Yingluck Shinawatra is confident that this year the government will be able to handle the floods. The last round of talks with local and provincial administrators was in Ayutthaya, one of the provinces severely hit by the 2011 floods. The government insists industrialists and local communities are top of the flood protection agenda. The PM says 3 months from now, she will once again conduct a tour to areas she visited this week to follow up on projects she ordered and green-lighted. 117 projects worth 5 billion baht await next week's official approval from the cabinet. The government has now allocated 1.4 million rai of land to become water retention areas, a little lower than the 2 million rai or 320,000 hectares suggested by water experts. The Committee of the Natural Disaster Fund has postponed the sale of insurance policies until early March due to unclear definitions of natural disasters. Payung Sakchat Sutipon, Federation of Thai Industries, Chairman of the Federation of Thai Industries and also Chairman of the Natural Disaster Fund, revealed that the sale of natural disaster insurance policies will be postponed until early March, since there will be a meeting with the Deputy Prime Minister who will take it for the Cabinet's consideration. There are 3 definitions of natural disaster for this insurance fund, which includes flood, earthquake, and storms. The Department of Disaster Prevention and Relief will take this for cabinet approval. Then, people who buy insurance policies will receive the compensation. As of now, there is still no conclusion of how much insurance premium will be charged. Meanwhile, the Secretary General of the Office of the Insurance Commission said that flood areas will be defined based on information provided by the Geoinformatics and Space Technology Development Agency, or GISDA. There will be a website designated specially to indicate it to indicate the amount of possible flood areas. As the industrial parks of Ayutthaya are building their own flood prevention walls preparing for the rainy season, locals are concerned that this might make flooding worse for them. However, water experts are saying that walls are not affecting the surrounding areas. Elevated streets are what locals should be watching out for. Here's more with Kun Darlin Krong in the climate.
Saharatana Nakhon Industrial Park is one of the industrial estates building massive walls surrounding their property. The 1,441 rai or 230 hectares of land will be surrounded with 7 kilometers of 8-meter-high flat walls. The road in front of the park will also be elevated by another 1.5 meters, as Deputy Industry Permanent Secretary Nattapol Nattasombun says. If roads are cut off by the floods, production will still be halted. Venerable Phra Maha Hansa Thammahaso, Vice Rector of the Mahachulalongkorn Rachawithyalai University, is afraid these walls might increase the flood effects for locals living in surrounding areas. The monk also asked the provincial administration to be the middleman in negotiating between locals and the industrial sector. However, Associate Professor Seri Suparatit, member of the Strategic Committee for Water Resources Management, (OGOYNO), says the wall will have minimal effects on the locals' well-being when the floods come. He says the highways, which are expected to be elevated to serve trucks, is a rather bigger concern. Scheduled to be raised before August, a large number of highways and roads in Ayutthaya might unintentionally become the perfect dike, preventing the floodwater from flowing away. Associate Professor Seri says at this stage, local administrators must gather all stakeholders together and come up with a consensus, while industrialists and locals should listen to each other and understand each other a little more and plan in a way that supports each other when the floods do come. Darin Krong Akara, Thai PBS.
Thank you, Kundarin. The new Mon State Party has called a meeting of its Central Committee members tomorrow at the party's headquarters in Mon State to find a joint solution over different of opinions among the party's executive members. The party has planned a ceasefire meeting with Myanmar government later on this month. Chairman of the new Mon State Party, Nai Thomon, has called a meeting of the new Mon State Party's Central Committee members tomorrow at the party headquarters in Molameng to discuss the party's strategy to the ceasefire talks with Myanmar later this month. During the Mon National Day celebration earlier this month, Nai Hong Sa Bangklien, a member of the Central Committee, told Thai PBS of two different opinions among party executive members.
Let us have the thing for the political dialogue process in the first step need for ceasefire. But the some Central Committee not think like this. They think the situations are not reached to the for ceasefire. So I think the two different opinions in our Central Committee.
The new Mon State Party already has held 3 rounds of meetings with Myanmar's Railway Minister Ong Min. However, both sides still could not sign a ceasefire agreement since they still have different opinions over details of the time frame in which political dialogue could start. And that wraps up tonight's edition of Thai PBS English News Service. Allow me to remind you again that Thai PBS is conducting a survey of the English News Service part. So if you would like to share your comments, please do log on to our website as shown on the screen. Please make sure you enjoy the rest of your evening. Good night. Sawadee krap.